Welcome. Welcome to our live episode. It is Monday, December 1st, 2025. It is 2:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good afternoon, folks. Good afternoon. You all are tuned in to War Notes. I am Paviel G, your host, coming to you with a full sweep update on what's been happening across the United States and around the globe and at your local supermarket shelves. Grab a seat, maybe a warm drink if you can't get your usual, and we'll dive into it in less than 30 seconds. I have my tea here. Baby Victor here is on my lap while I'm talking to you all this afternoon, and we have some things to dive into. We will return in less than 30 seconds. I thank you all for being here. Again, I thank you all for being here. Recently, we will first talk about what's new um, here in the United States, what's been going on this past week. Um, it's been a lot going on, but we have a few little things to discuss, so I will keep you for maybe a little bit less than 20 minutes. But the long federal government shutdown, of course, has ended, and Congress passed a funding package this week after drawn out negotiations, according to The Guardian and a few other reputable sources. With that reopening, some agencies are back online, but many Americans still feel the sting. Of course, indeed, higher prices and uncertainty. On the economic front, major retailers, including big box stores, signaled fewer across the board price hikes recently, a modest sign of easing from the pricing pressures seen earlier in the year. Nonetheless, inflation and food prices remain real, according to a recent forecast. Food at home prices in 2025 are expected to rise faster than average, with staples like eggs, sugar, and sweets, and certain meats likely to cost more, according to Economic Research Service and five other reputable sources. With Thanksgiving recently passed, many saw some relief. Analysts suggest that a full traditional meal, turkey, sides, and pie, cost about 2 to 3% less than last year for many consumers, since some high inflation items like beef or exotic produce, things of that sort, weren't required. A lot of people decided to do other things, and some people didn't do anything at all. Now, we will go on to discuss what that means for you and me. We have a lot more things to discuss. We will return back in less than 30 seconds. Thank you all for being here. Subscribe if you all haven't subscribed yet. Thank you. Now, you may be seeing slightly lower promotional prices in stores, but overall costs, especially even what they call Black Friday, I think it was more like a fake Friday, wasn't it, folks? But especially for everyday staples, those prices remain under pressure. A mixture of cautious corporate price actions and selective promotions offers small relief, but the broader trend in general still leans toward tight budgets and careful spending. Globally, there's been a lot of conflict. So I'm here to give you all brief updates. Again, I thank you all for tuning in and listening. This is an old school radio broadcast. And it's very rare that I do live in face broadcast because I want folks to train their ears and not their vision because the world is so chaotic, isn't it? Indeed. Globally, uh, agricultural commodity markets, not just the usual grains, but a broader array of products, are experiencing volatility right now. Changes in supply, demand, and geopolitical disruptions are creating uncertainty in food and goods markets worldwide, according to financial content and five other reputable sources. Now, combined with trade tensions and shifting international tariffs, many countries are seeing wider ripple effects, higher cost of living, unstable food supplies, and pressure on vulnerable populations. As global food markets strain, this may translate into future domestic price impacts here at home. Something to keep an eye on as we approach winter and the new year. We will return in less than 30 seconds and we will discuss living on a tight budget and some depression style recipes and hacks. Please stay tuned. We'll return in less than 30 seconds. Thank you. In times like these, when grocery bills climb and financial uncertainty looms, some old school wisdom can help stretch what little you have. Now, here are a few ideas I have inspired by Depression era cooking, but very practical for 2025. So, if you have your pen and paper, please grab your pen and paper or whatever you may have on hand to take notes with. But I do suggest old school pen and paper if you have it. Grab it, grab a marker, a crayon, anything. One of the recipes that I have for you all is simple rice and bean stew. Simple rice and bean stew is very cheap, it's filling, and it stores easily. You use rice and beans, a little bit of onion or spice, and maybe some tomato or seasoning if you have it. Oatmeal is definitely a good substitute for breakfast in the morning, porridge. Oats are affordable, they're filling, and can be sweetened a little or spiced for flavor. Now, potato. Hello, welcome, Shepherd Chapel. Welcome to the program. I thank you for being here. Blessings to you and family. Also, potato and carrot soup is very inexpensive because they contain inexpensive vegetables and cook slowly can feed a big family. You add water or broth and a little bit of seasoning, and you have something good. It's not about gourmet, it is about hunger. When baking, breads or biscuits use flour mixed with water and a small bit of fat or oil, maybe some salt, nothing fancy, but this again also is filling. If you have leftovers from the night before, reuse bits and pieces of that leftover. I have actually a bonus one for you all before I continue with leftover based meals. This is actually good for you all. And I didn't think about talking about this until right now at the last minute, but I took our Thanksgiving meal that we had and I used the leftovers the next day and I made a wonderful, actual delicious call it casserole, and it was quite yummy. So, what I did very quickly was I took the leftover mashed potatoes, cornbread that I had, and stuffing, and at the bottom of the pan, I layered the green beans that were left over. Then I layered the cornbread, crumbled the cornbread onto it, and then took the mashed potatoes and spread it over more like a cottage pie type deal and then pop that sucker into the oven. And it was yummy. It gave it the sweet and salt taste, a little bit of the salt and butter from the mashed potatoes, and then it gave it the sweetness of the cornbread, and then and it kind of stuck it together, the mashed potato and all of that stuff nice and combined. And then the green beans, it was lovely. So, leftover meals, reuse bits and pieces, folks. Stale bread becomes your French toast if you want it to be, or your pudding. Leftover vegetables become soups if you want it to be, or stew. Bulk buying and sharing and dividing if possible. Buy staples in bulk like rice, beans, flour, and share with family. Share with neighbors so you can cut costs if possible. Now, given current USDA forecast that food at home prices are rising faster than historical average this year, resourcefulness matters more than ever. When we return in less than 30 seconds, we will talk about what's happening right now in grocery stores. We're going to talk coffee prices, current coffee prices at Walmart and Aldi's. We're going to talk about sugar prices, rice, and staples. Welcome, Miss Chelsea Lewis, 33212 to the program. I thank you for being here, and we will return in less than 30 seconds. Me and baby Victor here. Now, recent global supply disruptions and tariff fluctuations caused retail coffee prices in the US to fluctuate sharply, as we know. Some relief may come as import tariffs on certain products are reviewed, but experts warn that prices might stay volatile due to supply chain issues abroad. Staples in general, like rice, your sugar, basic grains, okay? While food at home inflation remains elevated, some retailers tried to hold price increases back this quarter. They tried, perhaps hoping for holiday season stability. Oh, welcome. Wonderful. Okay, wonderful, Miss Chelsea. Thank you. Thank you for being here. You're great. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Miss Chelsea Lewis. Check out her channel, Chelsea Lewis 3321. Check her out. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Miss Chelsea. Now, Thanksgiving meal bundles from major stores like the holiday dinner kits promoted by large supermarkets were advertised at some lower price points this year compared with 2024. But fact checks note that those bundles often contain fewer items or lower quality. So the parent savings might not reflect real cost of living relief for many families. So, yes, there's some mixed news, selective promotional savings, but nothing that suggests a full reversal of inflation pressures. Now, what this all means for everyone, and a little bit of advice for you all. If you just hold tight for another 30 seconds, we'll be right back. Thank you all for tuning in. Now, folks, we live in a world where global conflict, market volatility, and political upheaval touch our doorsteps. They touch our doorsteps through higher prices, economic uncertainty, and scarce resources, right? But human beings, what do? We adapt, right? As history shows, even in the darkest economic downturns, people found ways to survive, sharing food and resources, cooking simply, trying to stretch every dollar. Right now, it's smart to treat food and basics like precious resources. So try your best if you can to cook in bulk, reuse, plan if you can, and support a community economy if possible. And remember, hope and solidarity carry more value than the most expensive chicken and coffee. Indeed. If we lean on each other, share what we have, and stay smart about spending, We will weather the storm indeed. That wraps up quickly our roundup for this week. From shifting politics and global markets to grocery aisles and kitchens nationwide, indeed. I thank you all for tuning in to War Notes. I'm Pavio G, your host, with my co host here, Baby Victor, rattling in the background. And as we always say, stay alert, stay frugal, stay kind, and take care of each other. We will be back with more updates soon. I thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Chelsea. I appreciate you so very much. And you have a beautiful and blessed day. Thank you.